Okay, so hello again, YouTube. Someone on, well, the only other person that actually responded in my video, clicked decision. He, wanted me to do a video on karaoke, and I know I said I'd do one of these every day, but, one of my friends is over, so I'm kinda distracted and occupied, preoccupied, whatever you wish to call it, with, hanging out with him, and such, so I'm upstairs, and I'm kind of in, Borderlands and such. So I figured, may as well do karaoke, seeing that that's the only real suggestion that I've gotten. I could start with personal opinions. I myself, I'm not too preferable on it, mainly reasons because I don't really feel comfortable with the whole singing in front of people, and yeah, it's got its at-home appeal to it, but I don't like that either. I don't know why. It's just every time I try or I start singing, or somebody asks me to sing, or somebody makes a comment on my singing, I stop. I won't sing. I generally sing when I'm alone, or when I'm kind of like meh. I don't know. um, it's karaoke is, I wouldn't know. I haven't really done much. I used to do a lot of karaoke when I was younger, like 10 years ago younger. Um, I don't know. I know a number of people that actually enjoy karaoke, and you put a karaoke stand in front of them, or you bring up a karaoke website or whatever, and they'll go and they'll find a song that they like, and they'll just have at it. Whatever. It's a personal appeal. I suppose, because screw all of that noise with the editing and such. Just let them see all your screw ups at once. Okay. Karaoke is, um, it can help people with their singing if they have, like, if they're not afraid to put themselves on a camera, or if they're not afraid to do it in front of people. Then people that aren't like total douchebags can give them like positive criticism, or they can help them in ways that sometimes the singer never actually thought they could do. Criticism, and I cannot go on one topic. Karaoke is something that I generally have not thought of doing in a long time. I just don't like the appeal of it, and I guess you could call it stage fright, I don't know. I just don't like singing in front of people. Uh, when I was younger, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but now I just kinda, oh, there's people, no, not doing it, no. So, that's something. Um, I don't really know how to take this any farther. I mean, I guess you could leave your opinions about it, and I could respond to those, or someone could bring up more topics, and I could bring up more things to talk about. Um, I know that some things are just kind of out there and such. I can't really go on a half hour about one topic though, so I am gonna need more than one, because it just it's you're gonna give me one topic and I'm gonna stray way far from it, or you're not gonna give me, or you're gonna give me too many topics and I'm gonna have to split it into more videos. That the second one's more preferable. Because karaoke is gonna lead to criticism, which is gonna lead to other things, which is probably gonna lead me somewhere into the video ending up sounding like a hypocrite. But nah, I wouldn't doubt it. It's something that I just kind of enjoy. So that's something that I enjoy doing. Um, uh, I don't know what else to talk about now. Because I'm not I don't really know much about karaoke. When I was little, I used to do it all the time. That's all I can really say because, like, I've already repeated it probably 2 or 3 times now. Um, well, karaoke does lead to criticism, and sometimes criticism can be good, but other times it can really demoralize someone. Um, for instance, last year I was in a creative writing course in my high school, and one of the girls, she was really, really shy, and somebody made a negative comment on her work, and so she just stopped writing, and she ended up flunking the class because she didn't feel that she could write anything good, so she just didn't write at all. Uh, Another thing, criticism can also have other negative effects. Like, it can, not only can it demoralize someone, but it can upset someone. It can make someone stupid, kinds of defensive. And, uh, sometimes people really over-exaggerate to negative criticism or any kind of constructive criticism at all. I generally, my eye is killing me. Okay, that's out of the way. um, Generally, criticism in its own, it can cause a lot of bad reactions out of a lot of people. I mean, unless the person is really looking forward to getting good at what they enjoy or what they like doing, it's not going to turn out nice. Most people are airheads about criticism. When they get it, they're like, oh, that's just your opinion, I'm really good, and I know this, and I know that, and I'm not bad, and I can't improve there, and stupid shit like that. Most of the time, those are the people that probably sound the worst. And I know that I've had my fair share. One of my friends, the one that actually recommended karaoke, he was trying to teach me how to play StarCraft better. And for a while, I was just entirely refusing to do it. I always thought that I knew what I was doing, or I thought that the advice he was giving was really stupid, so I just never listened to it, and I ended up making the same mistakes over and over and over. Eventually, I decided I was going to get in the right mindset, and I was going to start listening to his advice a bit better. So, I rang him up one day in a private call on Skype, and we sat there, and eventually, one of my other friends, the guy that I'm doing the Let's Plays with, uh, he decided he wanted to call, so it ended up being him and the guy that was teaching me how to play StarCraft better. So he was my opponent in the games. So Click would teach me. Well, now his StarCraft name is Indecision. I guess I could put a link up to his channel too. He's a pretty cool guy. He's tons of interesting. He's actually gotten me interested in a number of different things. One of them being improving in StarCraft, which somehow I have to fix my computer now because it's not doing an update that it really needs, so StarCraft can't install. I actually had to remove StarCraft because it said that there was something wrong with it, and then after I removed it, it just wouldn't reinstall. So that was an issue, and I'm still trying to get that fixed. But I'll be putting a link up to his channel. He's lots of interesting. He's got interesting perspectives on things, but sometimes I feel that he's kind of shooting himself in the foot with some of his arguments. Sorry, but that's honesty sometimes. I probably won't remember if you were to bring it up with me. I probably won't remember anything. I generally have a bad memory, so I'd have to come back and I'd have to watch the video myself. But that's generally something I have to do. If I want to remember something, I have to watch or listen or write down even some things. So, another thing is, like, learning. When criticism is used, it's generally to help somebody learn better. You can't really learn if you're thinking that you're already the best you can be. You always have to think that there is a point where you can improve, because, let's face it, nobody's perfect at anything. You can sit there and you can say, oh, I'm perfect at this, or I'm perfect at that. There's always going to be someone better than you. Even if you don't like that thought, there's always going to be someone better than you. I mean, a lot of people can choose to accept it, then they can just give up on everything, or they're going to be the people that choose to accept it and persevere to be better than everyone else. And then there are the people that just completely ignore it, and they feign ignorance, and they just never get better because they think that they're the best. So that just becomes a stupidity and entirely pointless to even try and course with them if they're going to rub it in or be all gloatsome about it. That's not even a word. But if they're going to gloat about it and they're just going to sit there and they're going to be airheads about it, then that's just something that I wouldn't even bother waste my time talking about. I have had my moments where I've been an airhead myself, and my friends kind of kicked that out of me. With criticism and learning and all that awesome, you really have to think about, like, what you're doing, because I know a lot of things, like, sometimes I just gave up, and other times I just never wanted to do anything. So it ended up really hurting me in a lot of negative ways. This doesn't just pertain to wanting to get better at something. This could be pertaining to keeping or retaining your muscle memory at the things that you already like doing. I used to play the guitar a lot, and then I moved in with my mom from my stepfamily, or my stepmom. I generally refer to them as my stepfamily because they're like my stepmom, my stepsister, my other stepsister, my stepbrother, yada yada. Only two people there are biological, so I consider that my stepfamily. As to where here I have, well, I wouldn't even know what to call this family. I have my mom, and she's my only biological 100% relative. And then I've got my half-sister that's got my mom, and then some jackass. So that's whatever. Back on topic. Criticism can generally attack negative reactions, and it can hurt more than just the person that it's being directed to, because that person will get irritated and then lash out, and then all this other crap happens, and then drama, and then sometimes it ends up a lot worse than it should be, which would result in going to jail or something. Some reactions I have seen get that bad. Other reactions, I don't know why this is bothering me, but it is. Some reactions, on the other hand, can actually improve somebody, and they can go back to the person that gave them the criticism, and they could be like, hey, yeah, I'm trying to get better at this, but I don't know how. Could you give me a hand, or could you help me out, or give me some pointers? Sorry about that. Hiccup in my speech. So they will generally go back to the person that they want to talk, and the person that gave them the criticism, and they can ask if, or they'll generally ask if they could get some kind of help learning about it, because not always the person giving the criticism actually tells them how to improve with that criticism, because sometimes people are just like, hey, you need to work better on, like, for singing, for example. This is why I suck at doing this. For example, somebody that wants to improve at singing, someone could give them constructive criticism saying that they might want to work on their pitch a bit. But the person that's doing the improving might not necessarily know how. So how is someone that doesn't know how to improve on pitch gonna improve on pitch if they don't know? So they'll generally go back to the person that gave the criticism, and if a person's giving a criticism such as pitch, you'd expect them to know what they're talking about. If they're just blowing shit out of their ass, then I wouldn't believe them. If they're like, hey, go work on your pitch, and then you message them back, okay, how do I do this? How do I get better with my pitch? And they just say, I don't know. Then they're blowing shit out of their ass, and they really don't know what they're talking about. So that's not really something to pay attention to. On the other hand, if somebody tells you a way to work on your pitch, and they ask you to work on your pitch, and they give you this whole thing on how to actually improve your pitch, I don't know the word. It's when you're trying to increase your pitch range. I guess that's what I'm looking for. Then they'll generally give you some helpful tips and helpful tricks. They'll give you tips and tricks on how to actually do it. I guess another thing that you could really do would be, you could look on the internet and stuff like that, but I generally would look towards more of a professional rather than the internet, because the internet isn't always truthful and it doesn't always help. So, yeah, internet, no. Don't ever internet, bad, no, bad, no internet. Don't go to the internet for help. Ask the person that gave you the criticism, because they are either blowing shit out of their ass or they actually know what they're talking about. For myself, I love cooking. I've tried to make music. One of my friends, I had posted a video. It was a music attempt with some loops, but he gave me some advice on telling me that I need to find more loops, because it does sound a bit generic, and it does sound okay, not a bit generic. It sounds pretty generic. Um, it was definitely an interesting tune, and I enjoyed it, but I can't always look at what I enjoy as to where I need to find what everybody as a whole enjoys, because without that, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, and you're not getting where you want to go. You really want to try and aim for where you want to go, otherwise you're not really going where you want to go, you're just static. Um, oh, wow, I didn't think I'd actually be able to do this. Criticism is helpful and it's counterproductive. You really have to choose your words wisely, because a lot of people are touchy. On another note, criticism can really lead to some easy manipulation. If somebody starts following you blindly, then you might get a little overboard and you'll tell them things that won't actually help, or you'll just all around try and manipulate them into making a complete fool of themselves. For the people that do that, I feel completely and utterly bad for you, and I know this is going to sound a bit harsh, but I hope somebody does the same to you and makes you want to shoot yourself in the foot until you have no foot left. Or until your hand gets sore from the numbing knockback of the rifle or pistol or whatever you use to shoot your foot off. um, I'm myself am not bad with criticism. Well, I used to be. I used to be a real hothead, and I just didn't like hearing anybody's advice, because I always felt like I was getting looked down on. As to where now I hear somebody and they give me advice, and it's like, yeah, thanks, I'll give that a go. Do you have any like tricks or tips or things to do? Because this can go back to the StarCraft thing with my friend. I used to play, and this is for anybody of you who actually know what StarCraft is and have played it or have heard of it and understand the concept of it or any of the background on it. I used to want to be Protoss, like, really bad, really bad. I wanted to be really good with Protoss. So I was sitting there in one of my games, well, more like every single one of my training games. It was pretty funny, because he would make the most ridiculous noises to try and get me to do something. And sometimes it would work, other times I'd get kind of irritated with the noise. But it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I did have fun. I did learn. I felt like I got better, but it just didn't, Protoss didn't feel right for me. But he would want me to build a pylon, and so he would do stuff like, make a pylon, make a pylon, make a pylon, and he started saying it really fast until, like, I actually caught on and I started building the pylon. Then eventually, I just couldn't feel playing as Protoss would be my thing. So I decided I wanted to go to Zerg. Well, I wasn't very good with Zerg. I'm not gonna lie, I was actually pretty terrible with Zerg when I started playing. This is really bothering me, and I have no idea why. Okay, so, I was learning, and I was learning, and I was learning, and I was learning.
You can move these controllers?
Dude!
Really?
I'll be up there in a minute. I'm doing a video thingy. I'll be up there in a minute, and I'll take care of the controllers.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Okay, that was interesting. I'm probably gonna cut it short because of that. I was learning how to play, and I was getting better at Zerg. I was actually able to get back to where I was? What? It's crazy. I can actually stay on topic with something. Okay, I was learning how to play Zerg then. because I wasn't failing Protoss. And so I was pretty bad. Like, all around bad. I was bad with injections, I was bad with keeping my number of drones up, I was bad with knowing when to upgrade, knowing when to build units, knowing when to get ready for a fight, knowing when to expand, and blah 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 and such. Eventually, I started catching on, and I started getting better and better. And so, he got to the point that he wanted me to do games against my friend, BD Jimbo, as I linked in my first video, for this. And so, I went and I was doing that, and I actually started getting a lot better. So I can actually now say that I'm kind of happy with where I'm at with playing as Zerg, because I like the race, I play the race well. I don't play it as well as I'd like to, because my StarCraft kind of crapped out on me and such. So I'm going to have to get that reinstalled when I can, and I've been working at it pretty decently. But yeah, I started getting better, and I really enjoyed playing as the race. So I figured, why not? So that has become my StarCraft race and such. So yeah, I'm gonna cut the video off here because the previous distraction, it was my mom, and she doesn't like it when I tell her to shut up. So I'm gonna go and take care of that, and I'll probably do another recording. I'm not sure when, but I'll try to make it again tonight. If not tonight, then it'll be sometime at like 2:33 in the morning, because I apparently enjoy doing things late/early in the days. So yeah, I will see you later, YouTube. Bye. Wait for it.